If you didn't feel like a savior, don't forget, there was always someone better than you. Name's Dave with WatchMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 video game villains better than the hero. For this list, we're looking at the bad guys in games that we ultimately like better than the hero of the story. And let's just be clear here, it's not to say that the hero is trash or unlikable or anything of the sort. It's just that the villain is sometimes interesting, so entertaining, or so badass that we couldn't come to hate them despite actively aiming to thwart their efforts.
You know the hero's gonna win, but you just don't die quickly.
Number 10. Kane, Command & Conquer, Tiberium's son.
You're not God, Kane.
No, I'm not God. But I'm a close second.
McNeil is the closest thing you'll get to a hero in this legendary RTS franchise. But despite being brought to life by the legendary actor Michael Biehn, both him and James L. Jones are upstaged by Joseph D. Coogan's portrayal of Kane.
Perhaps when McNeil arrives to kill you, you'll take some time to learn from the man. I'm sure he'll teach you lessons you'll carry with you the rest of your life. Which, by the way, is about 7 minutes.
He may have been introduced within the franchise's inception, but the second game in the Tiberium saga really established Kane as a force to be reckoned with. A self-appointed messiah with a crazy god complex who somehow doesn't seem to age. That mystery and his charisma solidifies him as one of gaming's greatest adversaries. Unless of course you chose to follow him.
One purpose, one vision. Tiberium is the way and the life.
Number 9. The Joker, Batman Arkham Series.
I think he's talking about you, Bats. Don't be a stranger. You're always welcome here.
When it comes to the Batman franchise, it's almost common knowledge that the charismatic and psychotic Joker will always chew the limelight away from the reserved and brooding Batman.
It looks like I need to teach you some respect.
The Arkham series is no exception, as throughout the trilogy, Joker will constantly find ways to mock bats while putting on the performance of a lifetime. Even his shocking death in Arkham City doesn't put an end to his shenanigans, as a series of hallucinations in Arkham Knight will always remind the player of who the real star of the show is.
Let's put him out of business, eh? Seriously? Do you believe that accent? That he only puts it on to sound scary.
Number 8. Mr. X, the Resident Evil 2 remake. Despite being a remake of a PS1 title, and having the leads far more fleshed out with professional writing, it was the T-103 Tyrant, better known as Mr. X, that came in and stole the show.
Jesus, stay back!
While he never says a word throughout the game, it's his enormous physique, thunderous footsteps, and the unstoppable thirst to slam our heroes into the ground, which makes him the stuff of nightmares. If you thought that the Resident Evil 2 remake would be a simple retelling for modern audiences, this guy certainly put you in your place. Number 7. Ghirahim, The Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword. Let's get this right out of the way. Lord Ghirahim is not lacking in confidence. And to be honest, nor should he, as this suave demon lord is the definition of cool. He's well groomed, incredibly stylish, and so calm and collected, you'd swear he was barely breathing. Through growing frustration with Link's efforts, Ghirahim barely shows it in his early form, calmly walking ever so closely to Link's blade, easily dodging his attacks, and even grabbing Link's sword with his bare hands. Now that's badass. While we love Link as the hero, Ghirahim was just such a breath of fresh air, as opposed to battling Ganon again and again. And he proved to be a perfect contrast to the humble underdog, Link. Number 6. GLaDOS, Portal.
As part of an optional test protocol, we are pleased to present an amusing fact.
Standing for Genetic Lifeform and Disk Operating System, GLaDOS is really the heart of the Portal games. While we play as Chell, she is a silent protagonist and essentially just a vehicle by which we, the player, attempt to escape the Aperture Science Enrichment Center. Despite trying to kill you, GLaDOS gives form to the hero Chell through our side-splitting commentary on the game's events.
Now that you are in control of both portals, this next test could take a very, very long time. If you become lightheaded from thirst, feel free to pass out.
And you'll eventually develop a fondness for the monotone female voice that's constantly making fun of you. It's a rare feat that we come to, dare we say, love? As a video game baddie that's actively trying to kill us.
The symptoms most commonly produced by enrichment center testing are superstition, perceiving inanimate objects as alive, and hallucinations.
Number 5, Handsome Jack, Borderlands 2.
I did the same thing to the last 4 Vault Hunters, but I'll be entirely honest. Tricking you guys this time? Way funnier.
While the Borderlands series always offers lots of choice for character classes we like to play as, these protagonists are mostly silent and develop through their interactions with other larger-than-life characters in the environment. And there's very few larger-than-life characters in video games that play the villain we love to loathe as much as Handsome Jack himself.
You know the hero's gonna win, but you just don't die quickly.
He's arrogant, snarky, threatening, and above all, deadly. And yet, well, he's just too entertaining for us to want him to go away. Did we also mention he's a dictatorial leader of the megacorporation Hyperion, out to pillage Pandora of all of its resources? Yeah, he's literally everything we hate in real life.
Anyway, I don't know, maybe you had to be there. The moral is, you're a total bitch.
Number 4, Virgil, Devil May Cry 3, Dante's Awakening.
Just the opposite, actually. Originally, it was the key to the demon world, but was given to humans as a gift.
It doesn't matter to me one way or the other.
Bear with us. We love Dante and truly enjoying slashing our way through the DMC franchise as the stylish demon hunter. But there's just something so intriguing about Virgil. Perhaps it's the fact that he turned to his demon nature after his mother died, while Dante chose to follow in his humanity. That surely plays a part, but so too is his reserved, cold nature that's in stark contrast to the over-the-top Dante.
My sincerest apology, brother. I was so eager to see you, I couldn't concentrate on preparations for the bash.
There's only so much flash and so many one-liners we can handle before we truly desire a villain who acts first and talks later, regardless of the consequences. So we're not ashamed to admit that we have a big old soft spot for Virgil that just can't be wiped out no matter how fun Dante is.
Knowing this, I thought you'd be more useful to me. But I was wrong.
Number 3, Sephiroth, Final Fantasy VII. Final Fantasy VII was a landmark game in terms of storytelling, and there's no doubt that Sephiroth's tragic origin story played a huge part in making the game's overall narrative so enthralling. In the 90s, villains tended to be one-dimensional and played up stereotypically evil tropes to motivate the hero of the story rather easily. But Sephiroth turned that idea on its head, what with his incredibly sympathetic backstory of going from a famed war hero to discovering that he was the subject of inhuman biological experiments. No matter how much we love Cloud, we just emphasized with Sephiroth even more. Oh, and he looked like a super cool rock star as well. That didn't hurt. Number 2, Sarah Kerrigan, StarCraft series.
For I am the Queen of Blades.
Like Sephiroth, the story of Sarah Kerrigan is one underlined with tragedy and heartbreak, and we just can't get enough of Sarah's journey from hero to villain. In fact, her story and character development alone are probably more interesting than the overall narrative of the StarCraft series. Her transformation from the young Terran ghost assassin to the Queen of Blades is undoubtedly one of the best character arcs in gaming. In the largely male-dominated profession of evil villains, Sarah breaks boundaries and ranks among some of the absolute best.
They will all be mine in the end. For I am the Queen of Blades. None shall ever dispute my rule again.
Just a quick shout out to today's sponsor, Arknights. Our favorite feature is the bunker construction. Build and customize your own base where your characters can relax and even interact with each other. The bunker also produces resources and currency that you can use to level up your operators, upgrade their skills, and make them elite. You can even visit other players or have guests over and hang out in the meeting room. So check out Arknights today.
Number 1. Vast Montenegro, Far Cry 3.
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
Why yes, because you've told us a lot. And it's all on account of everyone's favorite video game psychopath, Vast Montenegro. This famous scene from Far Cry 3 still delivers chills every time we see it. But honestly, most of Vast's monologues are the stuff that nightmares are made from. While we applaud Ubisoft for creating such a fearsome bad guy that truly inspires anxiety in gamers' hearts, we still wish that Vast was the final boss of the game. I mean, come on, the defeat of Vast is so underwhelming, but then again, our eagerness to take this guy down is the sign of an amazing villain.
Are you enjoying my sister's company? Huh? She's gonna make a warrior out of you.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.